The person in my family that I chose for my family history biography project is my great-great-uncle Rava Emil Ravinski, who is the most famous person in our family tree. It all starts with his parents, Rosa and Dika Ravinski, who were gypsies. Rosa and Dika were in traveling vaudeville, which was a kind of old-time show business that went from town to town, singing and dancing and acting in comedy skits and other things in theaters. Rava was their youngest son. He was born in 1904 and began performing in vaudeville skits from a very young age. Here he is at age 9, starring in a short movie that was made about a funny vaudeville skit of Jack and the Beanstalk. You can already see that he was a very good actor, even at the age of only 9 years old. Here he is in the middle of his 2 older brothers when he was 19 years old, starring in a dance he made up himself called Flight of the Egrets. But Rava got tired of doing vaudeville. He wanted to go to California and be in the movies. So, in 1924, at the age of 20 years old, that is what he did. He got work in the movies right away. Here he is in a silent movie called Island of the Vikings. In it, the Vikings took Rava captive and forced him to entertain them by jumping over horses or he would be killed. The Vikings kept adding more and more horses for him to jump over. He jumped over 5, but when he got to number 6, he missed by just a little bit. But the Vikings were still entertained, so they decided to let him live. After that, Rava worked mostly as a stunt double for many old-time movie actors, including a very famous one you may not know named Tyrone Power. Everyone said that he and Rava looked a lot alike. Here is a picture of him from the internet. Then, in 1934, Rava met the love of his life. This is a picture of her when she was 16 years old. Her name was Bunny Barker. When she got older, she belonged to a famous modern dance company called the Margaret Thornton Ensemble. Here is a movie of them dancing in the woods. Then, Bunny heard that Hollywood was looking for girl dancers to be in the many movie musicals that were being made at the time, so Bunny stopped modern dance and went to California. Here she is on the far right in a movie called Chorus Girls for Hire. At the same time, Rava was working on a movie right next door. That is how they met. It was love at first sight, and as soon as the movie was over, they got married right away. For about 3 years, they were very happy, but then Bunny ran off with another man and they got divorced. Then Rava went to Mexico to play the part of the devil in an experimental foreign film called Der Arsch des Teufels, which in English means the devil's buttocks. It was about how on the full moon all the witches in the Middle Ages would fly on their broomsticks to the forest where the devil and his demons lived. When the witches got there, they had to kiss the devil on his buttocks to show that they worshipped him. Then everyone would go into the forest and do wild dancing and drumming around a bonfire and have an orgy. But don't worry, because they were just acting and it wasn't real. But even though it wasn't real, it was bad news for Rava, because it turned out that the kind of rubber and glue they used for his makeup and his devil costume were made of certain chemicals that slowly made him sicker and sicker. When the movie was finally done and he came home to California, he quickly died as a result of chemical poisoning. After that, his older brother, Leander Ravinski, who was my great-great-grandfather, went to California and brought Rava home by train in a casket and buried him in Rochester, New York, next to other relatives. And that is the biography of my famous great-great-uncle Rava Emil Ravinski from his birth in 1904 to 1937 when he died at age 33. The end. Here is the list of all the people I interviewed and who let me use the pictures and newspaper clipping that I put in my video. And especially my Uncle Marty, who found the old movies and showed me how to copy the parts I wanted for my project.